Start recording. Yay! Alright, guys. Look, let's turn the music off as well. Ah. Alright, so today, today, guys, I'm gonna have a look. Hi, sorry. I'm gonna have a look at this one. What are weeaboos? Because I heard this word a while ago. What is it? What is a weeaboo? What is, yeah, that's it. What is a weeaboo? That's the one. So I thought, together with you guys, I'm gonna check this out because we don't have this word in Japanese culture. It's not a word we use. So at first I thought it was Japanese when I first heard it, but clearly it's not. So I heard weeboo, webu, or weeabo, but I'm not sure which one it is. So let's have a look. What the fuck? Quite. Uh, which one should I click on? What is an otaku? Ah, yeah, I know what otaku is. But some of these pictures look a little creepy. What the fuck? Oh, alright, let's try this one. Weeaboos in School Cringe Compilation. Oh, this one, okay. Let's have a look at this one together. Weeb, I don't know. Let's have a look at this one. Alright.
I wasn't looking or anything. I just happened to be walking by. It'd be creepy to know where you live. Stupid. What was I walking by? Okay, I had to give you something.
Okay, what's with this retard?
Don't get the wrong idea. I was just up at 4 a.m. cooking, like schoolgirls do, and it happened to be your favorite. And I thought maybe you'd like some since I had.
We don't act like that. We don't behave like that. We don't. Is that anime? Is that anime acting? Oh, that's cute. Kawaii. Ah, that, you know what? That's quite cute. I can understand that because when I was young, it was like, Chikali. I mean, I get it. I mean, I would never be stupid enough to do it online. Today I just did it, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't want to post it online. Jesus. Anyway, let's carry on.
I love loving cats and sun, pizza and fun. Feels like living in a
What the hell? You think you're doing an anime theme? Jesus Christ, pretty much you're the typical tsundere character. What on earth is this bullshit?
Everything that you do.
By the way, guys, is the sound okay or is it too loud?
With me in your arms. I love loving things. Love loving you. We're done. Next, put on white concealer on your lips because anime characters don't have lips.
Anime characters have lips? What the
so
fuck?
it's not like it's not
Anime characters
polished.
have lips. They're just
I
they're
can't
just.
see the words. I can't
I mean,
see
the mouth is
right
supposed to be
now.
minimal, so it's just a line. That's why.
Next, it's time for accessories. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so first it's this necklace, and it says peace in Japanese.
It doesn't say peace in Japanese.
God, it's so cool.
It doesn't say peace in Japanese. It says I, which means love. What kind of retard is this?
Next is this necklace, and it says beautiful.
No, it doesn't.
Hongo, I'm so desu. I'm gonna cry. Next is my neko collar with a bell. It's so
Oh my, what the fuck? Like, Feet are ugly, mouth is creepy. That looks like a face only a mother could love. This is Brian Weather. Hi, Brian. What the fuck? Oh my god. Is that what people actually think anime is about?
Hard time I've been going through is deciding whether or not I'm Japanese.
What?
And don't, like, people are kind of judge me for this. I'm aware of that. But, like, I feel it in my veins. I know who I am, and I think I'm Japanese.
Eh?
Because, like, recently I've been, like, reading lots of
What?
manga and anime, and, like, you know, like, I also really like their food, like sushi and, like, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking that I am Japanese. Like, in my heart, I think I'm Japanese.
Okay, I gotta share a story with you. Straight Weeaboo stuff like that. I gotta share a story with you guys. Um, so this girl reminds me of someone I met. So it was like several months, not several months. It was like last year, wasn't it? It was last year, a couple months before, a couple of months, like from so last year, March. Last year March. It was last year March. Oh, thank you, Trixie. So last year March, and a friend introduced me to another friend who was a girl, and when I told her I was Japanese, she was like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I was like, "Huh?" And she goes, "I'm Japanese too." I was like, "Huh?" So he left me with her, and she was talking to me and trying to convince me for 30 minutes. I'm telling you, for 30 minutes, she was trying to convince me, this cocksucker was trying to convince me that she was Japanese. And I was trying to be such a gentleman. I was in Japanese mode and I was like, "Ah, so, sugoi, zen 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 zen." And the only Japanese word this bitch could say was kawaii. That's the only word she used. And then for like the last 30 minutes, she was trying to convince me she was Japanese. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. I told my friend, I was like, dude, don't introduce me to any more of your bullshit friends. I can't deal with them. Anyway, moving on. Is that Katsuki? Naruto? Trixie with the rings. Thank you, Trixie.
I wake up to only the finest of music.
Oh, he's a good looking guy.
Before school, I
I
have the best balanced breakfast.
take it back. I take it back.
I run around everyone at school because they just walk too slow. Shout out to all the slow people. Yeah, I consider myself to be a great Weeaboo warrior. Yeah, A1.
Nani kore? I don't understand that. Oh, she's Japanese.嬉しいです。失礼します. Kawaii, crazy, crazy. Naruto was such a meme because really, yay. I don't know what these two cunts are doing. Oh, it's like a show and tell for with anime twist. They're trying to be schoolgirls. Well, that big one is would never be in an anime. There just aren't that many anime girls that are. As, what the fuck? Quiet, quiet. What? Quiet, 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 quiet. The fuck is he? Yeah, no shit, it's sharp. What the fuck is wrong with you, twat?
1. 相手の夢を集め探し物探しに行くのさ One Piece ラシンバルなんて渋滞のもと熱に浮かさ
Are those the words?
I'm
What, quite?
crazy drugged weeaboo.
Crazy drug dealer.
Oh,
What,
it's
quite?
not normal.
What, quite? What,
Oh,
quite?
Seriously though, that's crazy.
Yeah, no shit.
Uh,
I mean, I got a really big screen in front of me right now. His eyes are just huge.
I'm getting new glasses.
And he's getting new glasses. What the fuck's with the creepy smile after the new glasses? What does that mean?
Alright.
Cringe, the Naruto one was such a meme. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, who's this? Hmm?
Happy birthday to you.
Eh?
Happy birthday to you.
お誕生日な
Happy
んだ。
birthday,
It's a birthday.
Kotonoha.
Kokonoha.
Happy birthday to
This is like early
you.
2000s wave. Really?
Birthday, Kotonoha.
Wow, he made a birthday cake and everything. He made a birthday cake
To
with
them,
big
they probably
boobs.
thought I was just moving out of the way, but I was actually setting up to where their blinds
Cairo
were. If he
Sejiro.
had gone on me, I was planning to go
Looks
in,
like a white
completely
guy.
drop the sword down, and then completely cut it, completely gave them over. The sad truth is that they weren't even in shout. I already had a full 5-stage plan ready to take everyone out, and anybody else who got involved, just in case. That's just the way I do things. This is about what you saw on the train. It's folded, tempered, and it does its job. My
What on
family
earth
didn't
is
handle
this
me. I had
bullshit?
a surprisingly strange affinity for sharp objects, particularly kitchen knives, when I was a kid.
Kitchen knives.
You know, you really shouldn't mess with anime nerds.
I mean, maybe I would do this when I was 10 or something. I probably would do this when I was 10. I can imagine doing this when I was 10.
Starts off pretty fucking standard, you know. Tragedy strikes the peaceful home, and you know the main character.
I can't even see this guy. His camera's just shitty.
It's bad, but it is the most overrated thing I've ever fucking seen. Motherfuckers on Twitter all talking about it's great. Oh, Mikasa's my waifu. Oh, and let me get one straight.
This kills me, this wholehearted like early 2000s energy. Really? Yeah, this is like weird area between middle to high school.
Short hair and hardly any tits. You realize how whenever there's a big tit girl, that people are like, oh, she's useless. She's useless. She's just a sexual.
Huh. That was incredibly interesting. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Well, first, she's ugly. Secondly, she's built like a dump truck. And thirdly, she can't sing for shit. You saw more kids doing that kind of stuff, but not so much adults. Really? I mean, these are adults. I mean, I don't know how young she is, but she looks like an adult.
There's a hole in my heart where you used to be. Oh, I still wish you the best of luck, baby. Don't go thinking that this was a waste of time. I couldn't forget you if I tried. You killed what was left of the guilt
Oh, kawaii. Put-down. Put-down.
Kawaii! Pokemon plushies! Kawaii! Shoujo! Kawaii! Yowie!
Yaoi? He said gay anime hentai. He's like yaoi. I don't get it. What are these people doing?
Tell me what we're doing. We're making Nick Cage. We're making Nick Cage. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. It's been a big yard. Stand like it's been a big yard.
How is this anime related? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I'm a werewolf, and
I'm a werewolf.
my
The first,
transformation.
that's the first fucking thing he said was, I'm a werewolf. The rest, everything else he says after that is a moot point.
Not quite what you might think it to be.
I hope he actually changes the camera and puts on a werewolf costume. That would be cool. That works too. That works too. I would have been more impressed if he put on a...
Looking at me. I'm walking down the street, hitting at me, guy. You see you hear it going, you hear me playing my music.
Is that a green screen? Is that not real, right? That woman hasn't moved. Oh, it's a picture. Okay, yeah.
Girl's back behind me, looking at me. Rapping every day. I rap every single day. Rapping out in the classroom.
What on earth is going on?
Out in the streets.
She doesn't actually understand the lyrics or the song. I mean, wouldn't you at least go out of your way to learn the song or memorize the tune or something if you were such a hardcore fan? Are these like Americans? Most of these guys are Americans, right? Is America just full of people like this?
Great job, man.
Is America just full of people like...
We used to play with dolls. We used to play why don't you want to play with me? Come on now, just for a minute.
Feels so nice. Is that weird?
Hello, folks. Cuckoo. And because I like Gangnam Style, and I don't really
Gangnam
like
Style is not
Style,
Japanese, it's Korean.
everybody likes
I don't understand what's going on. Gangnam Style is Korean, not
record
Japanese.
of 2012. And what you're doing now.
Oh, it's a grown man? It's not a woman, it's a man?
Baby, I love you, I never wanna let you go. The more I think about, the more I wanna let you know. And everything you do,
That's...
it's super fucking cute, and I can't stand it.
I'm really confused. Hi, Sebastian. I'm really confused with this nonsense. Like, what is this bullshit? Let's see what the comments say. It was originally uploaded a couple of months back, but it was taken down due to a certain imaginary compilation. What happened? I'm on Twitch at the moment, Brandon. I'm on Twitch at the moment, and I'm just looking at some like cringy weeaboo stuff. So yeah, so I got my like timing on the side, but I'm on Twitch at the moment. So if you can, Brandon, let people know. Yeah. I can try. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Kai. Come on. What the fuck? What the fuck? I think the majority of weeds are by Americans. You think so? What's this? It's like a white power symbol. Like what are they doing? White power, white power. What is that? Oh, that's kind of cute. Pony, My Little Pony. That's nice. It's a group of dogs, but they're united in their nerdiness. Oh, very smart. Thank you. My mother gave it to me. My father did too. They had sex. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sylvester Stallone is good.
And some would even say Bruce Campbell. But one of the oddballs that you myself consider manly. Pony, friendship is magic.
My Little Pony. Wow.
Well, contrary to what you may think, there are more male teen to adult fans than there are young
Thank you,
girl
Sen.
fans.
Arigato.
That's how much of a phenomenon it has become. There are tons of internet jokes and hundreds of thousands of fans known as bronies. And in case you can't tell, I'm one of them.
They can't see you now, outside. It did not get a shot. Get a shot.
I mean, I wouldn't consider these guys. Oh, it's just cringe. It's not like okay. Sorry, I thought this was weeaboo stuff, but clearly it's not weeaboo stuff. I clicked on the next one and it said cringe. I thought it was weeaboo cringe, but it's clearly not weeaboo cringe. So let's have a look at the other stuff. Oh, this bitch. Ugh. Well, quite. Ah, quite. Ah, quite. Shut up. Shut up. Quite. Why can't I go there? Oh no. It's frozen. Oops. That's not it. Meh. So, how's the chat going? Oh, hi guys. What's going on?
How do I get my first few viewers?
Oops.
And I've answered that by making videos about how to get your first 5 to even 25 average viewers. But that's just my opinion about how I think you should.
What the fuck? Well, timey is faster for me. Well, I'm watching both. Yeah, timey is going to be faster. There's always going to be a lag on this. It's just the way it is. Yeah, actually, let's find out what a weeaboo is. Let's see what a weeaboo is. Let's see what this guy.
God. I can see the dislike bar already.
Well,
Hey,
this
how's it going,
person.
everyone? This is the Anime Man. So a few days ago,
The
I did a video
anime
called "What
man.
Exactly Is an Otaku?"
He's a bit
If you
weird
guys haven't
anyway.
seen that, then click this annotation or at least in the
What's an
description
otaku?
below.
Yeah, I know this
In
phrase.
the
Otaku
comment
is
section
what we
of
use
that
in
video,
Japanese.
this video that I'm going to talk to.
So I know what otaku is. Otaku is like nerd or geek in Japanese. Usually they like anime, playing video games and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily a bad word. It's not necessarily a bad word. People don't prefer it, but it's not a bad word. It's not offensive or something. But this word I heard, apparently it's almost like a racist term or something. It's very offensive. It's very offensive. People get butthurt over it. So let's see what this guy says.
Was my most requested. Now, I was really just hesitating to make this video to begin with because, ooh, when you put that W word in the title of any of your videos, then
shit just hits the fan.
See,
Now, if you
that's
guys
what
don't
he
know what the
said.
W word is, then you obviously haven't seen the title. The W word is a word that is used a lot, usually in about 95%
He's taking a
of
long
the
time
hate
to say the
comments
stupid
that are
word.
said towards me, and that is the word weeaboo. Now, I'm
Weeaboo. Oh,
actually
that's how you say it.
pretty
Okay,
angry
weeaboo.
about the word weeaboo used all over YouTube and just the internet in general. Not because I get called it and I hate the hate
You look
comments or
like a
whatever the fuck
weeaboo.
it is, but because, like I said, 95% of hate
I think he does
comments
get
that
called it.
are based on anime
I think he does
YouTubers
get
or
called it.
anime or
I
just
can
any kind of
imagine.
Japanese thing in general uses this word. But unfortunately, a lot of motherfuckers don't actually know what the word weeaboo means,
So
and
he's
they're
gonna
just
give us
using
his
it because,
definition.
oh, it probably means something bad and something that has to do with Japan. So I'm going to
Okay.
educate you guys today by answering the question, what exactly is a weeaboo?
Yeah.
First of all, let's look at the definition of what a weeaboo is in case you guys don't know. A weeaboo is a non-Japanese person who basically denounces their own culture and calls themselves Japanese.
Okay.
They try to learn Japanese through the anime they watch and
Okay.
usually end up pronouncing it wrong and looking like a complete idiot. Keep
Ah.
in mind that a non-Japanese person can like the culture, watch anime, speak the language, and respect the culture, while still keeping in touch with their own, which keeps them from being a weeaboo, Japanophile, etc. But
Ah.
weeaboos basically disrespect the culture and make complete asses of themselves. Now, before we dive
Okay.
into what makes
That
a weeaboo,
kind
what
of
doesn't
makes
make a
sense.
weeaboo, let's clear up some misconceptions about this word. And the
Okay.
first misconception is when people call me a weeaboo. If you guys don't know,
I
I
would
may
call
not
you a
look like it,
weeaboo.
I may not sound like it, but it is true that I have Japanese blood running through my body. I am Japanese. And now, if you guys were listening to the definition just then, then you will know that a Japanese person can't be a weeaboo. It's not a matter of because they know the culture or
I don't
anything like
believe you.
that. It completely
I don't believe
defies the
you.
actual
You look like a
definition of the word.
Filipino or
Calling a
something.
Japanese person a weeaboo is like calling a black guy a wannabe black guy. It just doesn't make sense on a definition scale.
You're trying to prove
all
an
those
awful
hate
lot that
comments
you're
that you
Japanese
guys
and
throw
so
at
that we
me,
don't have to call
calling
you
me a
weeaboo.
fucking weeaboo or whatever it is, that shit don't work, dog. Second misconception is that just because you watch anime and read manga, it doesn't make you a weeaboo. You know what you call a
You guys
person
love.
who watches
Hi
anime and
shorty.
enjoys
Hi
it?
shorty.
An anime fan. And the third misconception is that you can be a weeaboo even if you don't watch anime. Since when was it established that if you watch anime, you're automatically a weeaboo? And brace yourselves for the huge newsflash, but anime and manga does not equal Japanese culture. There is so much more to Japanese culture than anime and manga.
It's a good
and
point.
if you think that anime and manga is the core of Japanese culture,
It's a good point.
then you yourself are the weeaboo. Because keep in mind that the key term of this definition of the word weeaboo is disrespecting the culture. The first and forefront step of weeabooness is thinking that the Japanese people, the Japanese culture, and Japan as a general is the most superior country in the world, only by using the little understanding of Japanese culture that a person has. You see, only the people who have actually gotten to the step
They're
can
not superior,
understand, but you
period.
get to a
But,
point
okay.
where you love Japan so much that you actually fucking hate it. Because you love Japan so much that you go out and explore all the bits and pieces and all the nooks and crannies of the Japanese culture and what makes up the Japanese culture.
Okay, so let's discuss a few points. Let's discuss a few points. The first thing is, this gentleman is trying awfully hard to convince me that he's Japanese or part Japanese or whatever. He looks like a Pinoy or something. So, but even then, he's just overstepping just to try and convince me he's Japanese, so I don't call him a weeaboo. And trust me, this guy's a weird. I don't really know the term of a weeaboo, but I'm offended, and I'm Japanese enough, so you're a weeaboo. Secondly, this guy is giving me some weird. I mean, look at the background and just.
And you realize that it's not as great as you thought it originally was. Like, it's not until you realize that Japan itself is an extremely xenophobic culture,
Japan
and
is a
it just
very
has some of
xenophobic
the most
country.
what the fuck things that are integrated into their culture at a subconscious level, that you realize that, hey, Japan isn't all that perfect.
It's not all
and
that
this
perfect.
really applies with
People
any country.
misunderstand.
Thinking that one country is superior over another, just from the little understanding that you got, really just makes yourself look like an ass, and that really is the core
Was
of
that
what
an
a
Australian
weeaboo
accent?
is in the Japanese sense. Now I'm going to give you guys a typical example of a real life weeaboo that I actually heard from a friend of mine not too long ago. So this person who will go unnamed decided to homestay in Japan for several months because he wanted to learn the Japanese culture.
That's
He was
good.
very interested in learning Japanese, Probably because from a huge influence that he got from anime. Now, naturally, at a homestay, you respect the household rules while also learning gradually, in case you already didn't know, about the cultural etiquette and the cultural rules that revolve around Japan and Japanese households. What does he do instead? Instead, he empties out a whole bag of fermented soybeans, or natto as it's called in Japan, empties it out into somebody else's rice cooker without permission and starts eating it. Now, before anything, that's just fucking rude in any culture. Like, motherfucker,
It's not
ask
rude,
for
it's
permission.
gross.
Just because you're a homestay, it doesn't make it your house. So naturally, the homeowner of the homestay place gets angry at this guy, saying, you know, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should learn the rules. But since the guy was an English-speaking person, the homeowner confronts him in English. And does the homestay apologize for his actions and learns
That's
from
hard
that
to do in
experience?
English as well,
No.
Japanese.
Instead, he calls the homeowner a racist because he was confronting him in English, presuming that the homestay didn't know how to speak Japanese. Motherfucker, do you even Japan? Do you see everything that's wrong with this situation? It doesn't matter what nationality or culture you belong to. That shit is stupid. Calling someone a racist because they spoke to you in your natural language and getting angry about that because you want to learn Japanese and they didn't think you understood Japanese because you were in Japan. That, my friends, is what a weeaboo is. So let's go back to the first question.
This
What
cocksucker
exactly
has
is
confused
a
me
weeaboo?
more than I was
Simply
before.
put, a weeaboo is somebody who is obsessed with the Japanese culture or a specific part of Japanese culture and thinks they know everything about it, but instead they end up disrespecting the culture while also denouncing their own. In other words,
so I guess the loophole is if you're Japanese or part Japanese like me, yay, you do all that stuff, then you can't be a weeaboo. I mean, technically there are Japanese people who, I mean, me, I don't know much about Japanese culture before I came to Japan. I grew up in the UK and, you know, and Korea and other places. So, I mean, I know Japanese culture from my father, but it's not like I lived in Japan, breathed Japan, and all that other nonsense. Things just happen as you grow as a child. Um, so, you know, it is what it is. But there are many Japanese people who like first generation, so second generation, third generation Japanese people who grew up like, look for example for Brazil. So if a Japanese person who did the exact same things you did, he disrespected Japanese culture and he's into anime and this and that, but because of his blood he's Japanese, we can't call him a weeaboo. I guess that's what you're trying to say. Is that the loophole? So the loophole is you have to have a bit of, so basically, if you are a weeaboo and you don't want to be called a weeaboo, you just lie to people like this schmo here and say, I'm Japanese-ish. I guess that's the point he's trying to make. Let's have a quick look at the chats. What are you guys saying? Are you guys still here? Hi Kai, Shorty. Hi Shorty. I'm doing alright. How are you? What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, let's go back. Alright, let's go back and see what this guy is saying. Hi Goose. Hi Goose.
they're self-righteous assholes. Now remember the definition I gave at the beginning of the video. A non-Japanese person can watch anime, learn the culture, learn the language, respect the culture, while still keeping in touch with their own, which stops them from being a weeaboo. Just because you like anime, or just because you like Japanese movies, just because you're trying to learn Japanese, just because you want to go to Japan and experience the culture, does not make you a weeaboo. However, if you do any of the above and think that you know everything about the culture or everything about the language, or think that you yourself are just as good as the actual
I'm on Twitch
Japanese
at the moment,
people
so I'm
in
just
Japanese
streaming.
culture, is what makes you a weeaboo. So I hope this video actually cleared up the meaning of the word
Not
weeaboo
really,
for you
sir.
guys.
You
And
kind of
haters,
confuse me more.
you should probably bring some new material because that shit has never offended me from the beginning. You can call people weeaboo if you want, but 95% of the time, 99% of the time, majority of the time, the people you call weeaboos aren't weeaboos. They're just people who like Japanese culture or like specific
Is it
parts
me or does
of
it feel
Japanese
like
culture. And there
you're
is
streaming right now? I'm streaming right
nothing
now.
wrong with that
Is
at
it me or
all.
does
If
it
you
feel
want
like
to learn Japanese, if you want to learn about the
he's
Japanese culture,
reflecting?
if you want
Is
to
that the
watch
word?
anime, if you
He's
want to
projecting,
go to
sorry,
Japan
projecting.
and experience the Japanese culture for yourself, then good on you. Go ahead and do it. If you're interested in it, then go ahead and do it. Keep in mind though, there are weeaboos out there. Those assholes who disrespect the culture that they think they know everything about and say that their culture that they grew up in originally is a piece of shit. Let's just make this nice and clear. Every culture, every country is a piece of shit in their own way. There is no perfect country, and Japan especially does not qualify as a perfect country. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you know anybody, or do you know a story of someone who is an actual weeaboo, or could you have perhaps...
He keeps doing that, or someone who's actually a weeaboo as opposed to me. I mean, I don't know this word. It's not a Japanese word we don't use. We use otaku. So, I mean, oh, look here. He's in another one, and he's explaining what an otaku is. Let's see what he says about otaku.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's the Anime Man. So, whether you are an anime fan or not, you have most likely heard of the word otaku. This word is very ambiguous. A lot of people say, oh, it means one thing.
No, it doesn't. There's no ambiguous word, you fucker.
But then if you ask the Japanese,
there's no ambiguous word.
It means something totally different. So, today I decided to jump into this world and hopefully give you guys a better understanding.
Are you a weeaboo, Kai? I don't even know what that is.
Is an otaku. Now, first of all,
probably
let's
an
look
otaku,
at the conventional definitions of the word otaku. If you look up the word otaku on English Wikipedia, it reads as follows. Someone who has a hobby that they spend more time, money, and effort on than normal people do. They know a lot about their hobby and things related to it. For example, an anime otaku might spend a lot of time watching anime, buy a lot of DVDs and other products, learn about the people who create anime, such as the people who draw it, or the people who make the voices of the characters, or create something like music or drawings about
sound like a wrong
so,
bad
in other
thing.
Words, the word otaku can easily be used for a substitute for words such as geek or nerd. In other words, it is
geek or nerd, that's what I just said.
Obsessed about something in particular.
It's not obsession. It's an interest.
Someone who has an obsession with
it's not an obsession. You keep saying obsession. That's the second time you said it. It's an interest.
Word otaku. A lot of Western cultures define the word otaku as being someone who is obsessed with either anime, manga, or something Japanese medium related. Now let's look up the Japanese definition of the word otaku.
I'd love to see the Japanese definition.
オタクとは自分の好きな事柄や興味のある分野に傾倒しすぎる人への呼称。ある物事へ一般人よりはるかに熱中している人、詳しい人のことである。So if you look at it like that,
they just have a passion in something more than the average person. That's it.
The English definition of the word otaku seem to be pretty matched together. So why is it that so many people argue as to what the word otaku specifically means? Because I went ahead and looked up what other definitions of the word otaku might actually mean, and I came across a definition which is read as such. Originally used in the mid-80s by friends with each other to refer to someone who was very informed about a specific subject. Eventually used as a light derogatory term to show someone who lacked common sense and social skills. Now that last definition used the term light derogatory.
I mean, it's true. It's like calling someone
So there are...
I mean, it's true. It's like calling someone a noob. Like, noob is a gamer term. I mean, it's short for newbie, but we can use it as a slight insult as well. So, you know, noob. Okay.
Some people who think that the word otaku is actually just talking about a nerd or a geek. In other words, something that is... If we were
it is a nerd or a geek. Whatever this guy says after that, he's lying. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Because the translation is, the simplest form is nerd or geek. And he's just saying, you're so smart, Senpai Kai. Shut up.
Rather than positive or negative, while there are some other people who take it in a positive way, someone who is an expert on something. Or it can be taken in, yet again, a negative way, someone who lacks common sense.
I don't know, if you call someone a nerd or... if you call someone a nerd or a geek, if I call you a nerd or a geek, say, stay in your place, yeah, Gus, stay in your place. Gus, if I call you a nerd or a geek, you can take it in a good way or a bad way. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Depends on the person. I don't know. I'm kind of getting annoyed with this guy, and it's only the second video I watched. The first video, he tried to convince me he's Japanese enough that I don't call him a weeaboo, and I'm telling you he's a weeaboo. So, like, this one is just...
Question comes
maybe he'll tell me he's an otaku.
What exactly is an otaku? Well, to answer your question, it's all of them. Because not many people know that the word otaku is subjective. As I said before, the word otaku, when you look at the
no, it isn't. You just gave me... How is the word otaku subjective when this Ponce just gave me a dictionary definition? He gave me a Japanese definition, and then he gave me like an Urban Dictionary definition. How is it subjective?
Was as nerd and
I mean, it's a good point, because I think you're a cunt, so I guess that's subjective.
Like the words nerd and geek, these can be taken in a subjective manner. Some people take it in a positive connotation, while others take it in a negative connotation. Hell, the word otaku can mean lots of different things depending on the perspective you look at it. Sure,
I can say that about everything.
Such a negative
I can say that about everything.
such as nerd or geek, but it can also be replaced by other more positive words such as fan, expert, mania,
Fan,
or
expert.
even scholar.
Mania is
So now
not
we have to
exactly
ask
a
the
positive
question,
word.
why is the word otaku ever been taken more as a negative word
It's not
rather
negative.
than a positive word? Well, it has to do with the origins of the word otaku. The word otaku really spread out into the mainstream back in 1989 through a very famous serial kidnapping case called the Saitama Denzo
Ah, I know
which
this
involved the
one.
kidnapping of a lot of young
I know
girls,
this
and
one.
the culprit
He's
of
being
this
a little
case
bitch.
being referred to as an otaku. And that was really the first time that the word otaku was used ever in a mainstream sense. And thus, when the term really started to kick off in the mainstream media world, the word otaku was linked directly back to this serial kidnapping case. And
Let me explain something. So this is let me explain something very simple. Whatever he's saying, it probably, I don't know how old this movie is, but I don't know how old this video is, but I'll explain now. So the reason otaku has a certain negative connotation to it. The same, we have another word called nito. Nito means like stay at home and just chill and watch YouTube and do all that. And so another one we have, otaku means, the reason otaku is negative is because usually you're a geek and it means you can't find a woman, which means you can't find a wife, which means you can't get married, you can't move out of the house, you can't have kids, you can't live a normal life. That's all it is. It's really that simple. The BS that this guy is spouting, I have no idea. And the reason, so that's the reason it's negative, because obviously parents don't want hikikomori. Hikikomori are like people who stay in the house and usually are social outcasts and stuff like that. But that's why otaku is considered, it has a slight derogatory, not derogatory, it has a slight negative term. But in general, it just means nerd. It just means nerd. I mean, if you're like 30-year-old otaku, then it's questionable. If you're like a 15-year-old otaku, it's like, nah, he's an otaku, so what? You see what I mean? So my man Jap Wannabe is just, nah.
And the media really tried to link that otaku equals a person who is obsessed with games and anime, therefore he is a weird motherfucker. However, as the decades
You
have
are a
passed,
weird
the internet
motherfucker.
has really started to change the way that they want to express the word otaku. Sure, there are some other people who say that the word otaku is taken in a negative connotation, but thanks to the internet and the real spread of the otaku culture through the internet and through the mainstream media, the word otaku is slowly starting to become neutralized. And this is where now the word otaku can be taken as both a positive and a negative connotation depending on who you ask.
This
Now, the
guy
other
is
question I
back
get
talking
asked a lot
himself.
is,
Is that the
how
word
much
we use?
anime
Is it
and
back talking
manga do
himself?
I
He's
have
like
to watch or have to read for me to
backpedaling.
be considered an otaku? You guys don't know how many messages and how many comments I get about this kind of question. They're like, Joey, I've watched this many anime series, I've read this many manga series, I have this many figurines, and I have this many wall scrolls and this many posters. Am I an otaku? Well, you have to ask yourself,
Maybe.
do you like anime and manga? Okay, if your answer is yes, then answer me this. Do you consider yourself an otaku? Because as I said, depending on who you ask, the word otaku can mean different things. And
He's
there are
going back
actually
on what he
a
said.
lot
That's what
of
I'm
anime and
thinking,
manga
right?
fans, or a
He's
lot of
going
people
back
who
on.
have
I don't know. He's
obsessive
backpedaling.
hobbies that do not really
Dude,
want to
how many?
call themselves an
Let's see what
otaku,
you
while there are some
published.
other people who get
467,000
really
people watched
obsessed
this
in a
bullshit.
particular hobby and actually want to be recognized by their friends and peers as an otaku. And
Oh,
now we
my!
come back
Are you
straight into
stupid?
the first question. What exactly is an otaku? Well,
He said,
to
"What is
be
exactly is an
blunt,
otaku?" He did it
there
twice
is
now. He's like,
no
"What is an
real
otaku? What
meaning
exactly is
of
an
the
otaku?"
word
Are those
otaku.
subject
It is
pointers?
a
That's not a
subjective
subject
term.
pointer. It's the
Depending
same
on
thing.
who you
We're
say
going
it
around in
to,
circles.
where and what
What are you
context,
trying to make
the
a
meaning
7 minute?
is
Oh, you're
ambiguous.
trying to
I
make
don't think
like
there
a
will
seven
ever be
minute
an
video.
agreement
He's
as
trying to
to
make a
what
7.5 minute
exactly
video,
the
so
word
he's just.
otaku means. And unfortunately, there are a lot of Japanese terms that are like this. There are a lot of subjective
Give me an example.
Japanese
Yeah,
words,
give me an
and
example.
otaku just happens to be one of
No,
them.
no,
If
no,
you want
no, no.
yourself to
I
be
hate it when people do that. There are a lot of something terms, and he doesn't give me an example. He doesn't. There are a lot of something terms like da 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 da. Bonjour, mon ange. How are you, mon ange? But he's not actually giving me. It's like, ugh.
considered as an otaku, then go ahead. But if you don't want to be associated as an otaku, then don't associate yourself as an otaku. Just call yourself a fan. Call yourself an expert. Call yourself an enthusiast. There are so many other words that
He
you
was
can
trying to
replace
hit the
the word
10-minute
otaku,
point
and otaku is
for that
merely
cash.
just one
Oh.
of those definitive
He gave the
words
same
that can
title
be
like 3
swapped
times,
and changed
Gus. He
around
gave the
at your
same
own will.
like
So I
three
hope you guys
times.
learned something new, and now I
I
want you
learned
guys
you're
to
a,
tell me in the comments below.
I learned you're a prick. I honest to God, that's what I learned. Let's see the stupid comments. Let's read the comments and see what they say. We destroy weeaboos because otakus are the master race. Oh my God, the first comment just. So otaku is like the way to escape. So if you can't use the loophole, basically if you can't use the loophole, which is I'm Japanese enough to escape the weeaboo, you just change it to I'm an otaku, not a weeaboo, which from my understanding feels like it's the same thing. I mean, one's a little more hardcore than the other, but yeah. Um, both otakus and weeaboos are trash definitions to me. I get insulted when if people call me an otaku for loving anime and manga. I am an anime manga fan, not an obsessed person. Wow, the labeling. All right, let's not go down this rabbit hole. Let's look at the other words. I'm proud to be an otaku. Good for you. Otaku sounds like a Japanese taco. I guess. I wouldn't mind being called otaku. Okie dokie. I do actually consider myself an otaku both for anime, video games, and art. These keep me indoors for days and days at a time. Yes, I know that's bad. Usually in Japanese culture, we have a term. It's called hikikomori. Hikikomori means like shut in. So I don't know if you're an otaku, but you'd probably be hikikomori. Let's look at the Japanese definition. He spelled definition wrong of otaku. Read the Japanese definition of otaku in Japanese. Didn't expect that. Actually, that's a good point. I wasn't expecting the person. Well, he didn't read that in Japanese. Let's be honest. Ooh, Ohio, Ohio. Let's be honest. He didn't read that in Japanese. He had someone voice it over and read it because the person's voice was not his voice. So, William, you're a twat. Uh, Chile. Hashtag otaku for life. Okay. Oh, she wrote some more stuff. Hashtag otaku for life. Yes, I'm an otaku and I'm proud of it. Hashtag proud to be an. Okay. I'm low key obsessed with anime voice actors. Okay. Hearing the whole definition of otaku, I'm happy being a weeb. Okay. I consider myself a Pokemon otaku, which I find to be a very positive thing. I like being called a nerd as a compliment. Yeah, I guess. I feel like I'm half a weeaboo and half a otaku. These people just trying to be special. Wait, wait, that didn't make sense. Never mind. These people trying to be all special. I feel like I'm half a weeb and half a otaku because I definitely respect the country. However, sometimes I say konnichiwa to my friends and I add san or chan or kun to their names. Well, if you said that to me, if I was in the America and you said that to me, I'd drop kick you, bitch. So it's like when the terms nerd and geek used to be much more so as insults. Now people will call themselves a nerd because they like to use it to define or have a sense of belonging to a certain group, even though some people will still use it to insult someone. Okay. Oh my god, I love your Hatsune Miku in the shelf. Is it weird that I'm staring at the Miku figure while he's speaking? Yes, it's weird. I consider otaku a positive word. I'd rather be called an otaku than a weeaboo. I do not think I'm Japanese. Face desk. Hmm? Okay. Yep, I'm an otaku and I'm proud. I'm an otaku and I'm proud of it. There's nothing wrong with being an otaku. Nice sassy music in the background, by the way. Okay. I'd like to consider myself an otaku, not a otaku, an otaku, and I want to be a otaku, an otaku. Jesus, just struck it. Your spelling is killing me. I'm a nerdy guy who loves and anime. I'm a nerdy guy who loves anime and manga. I'm a nerdy guy who loves and anime and manga. I play a lot of video games and read a lot of comics. I love the name otaku to fit what I am. It feels right. Jesus. Do you know what O means, Mooney? What it means, Mooney? Because we don't have words like that in Spanish. Hi, Rai. Like how there can be a word that's for someone who's still inside. I don't know. I don't know. Hi, Rai. Hi, Rai. I typed nerd and geek in Google Translate, and Japanese translation is the same, which is otaku. I'd call myself a nerd, but calling myself an otaku is weird because sometimes, uh, yeah, sometimes it's a bit weird because sometimes I watch anime and then I forget its own title, so people won't say I'm an otaku because of lack of anime knowledge when it's actually just because of my severe forgetfulness. Oh well. There's too many comments. All right, let's go to the what was that Weeaboo one? Let's do the Weeaboo one and see what the comments said. Where was it? What's a Weeaboo? Oh my god, some of these pictures are really scary. Like really, really scary. Wow, quite. Oh, let's see this cringy video. Let's see. Weeaboo cringe compilation 2019. 2019, okay.
Normal fangirl versus Otaku. No way, Black Butler. No way.
Domino's. Hmm?
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku? Today, I'd like to announce a new collaborative project featuring Hatsune Miku.
What?
Domino's app featuring Hatsune Miku. The collaborative app was produced.
What the hell?
Based on Miku's image, the Domino's app changes its appearance. A lot of music and illustrations produced by Domino's crew are here. From the menu to the order, it looks very cute, just like Miku. Once your pizza's delivered, have some fun with Miku. It comes with a social camera function, and you can take various poses, pictures of Miku. Very cool. And last but not least, the live performance. Start the pizza stage live and point the camera towards the pizza box, and the pizza box will turn into a live dancing.
I mean, that's pretty cool, but
live performance of Love for Night.
Is that Deku? Who is that? I don't know who that is. I'm kidding. Wow, I do know. I'm kidding. You're having a full-on conversation over here. I'm sure there is yours, so it's too illiterate, you know.
Oh my god!
Let's have a look at the chat quickly. I'm uncomfortable. I'm Kai. It's me, Shorty. I'm uncomfortable. I mean, that's not cringy. He's just dancing. Unless his like pants split open or he just shows his gash or something. I don't know. What the hell? He just took out 2 swords. Are those... Oh, are they in their sheath? Oh, they're in their sheath. Okay, that's okay. Jesus. They're in their sheath. Okay. I love how he just adjusted his jumper to pull his cover his stomach. None of those moves would ever save you. Oh! His gut just... Wow! Just... Ugh. I'm just kidding, Mooney. I don't even know what that is. What the hell is that? I mean, I can imagine doing this when I was like 10, maybe. Ugh. Oh, it's Luffy Chang.
After all, he may be the great captain in the world, but he ain't got no brain. What do you mean I got no brain, Usopp? Well, basically, you always think about food, but nobody else. Like, well, I don't even know what you're thinking right now. Well, basically, I am a real human, and you guys are nothing but little puppets on a stick. Puppets on a stick?
I got it.
Usopp's a puppet on a stick. You too. What makes you think that? Oh my god! I can't believe you shrunk. What? I didn't shrunk. You're the one who shrunk. I didn't shrunk. Yes, you
Well, I mean, they came up with the whole story, so I gotta give them credit for that. What's Kai doing? I'm confused. I'm watching Mooney. I'm watching some some weeaboo things on YouTube. I'm just reacting. He's leaving how to throw it back. He's leaving how to throw it back, huh?
Are you mad?
I know it sounds strange, but I noticed. Can you teach me after, Kai? Can I teach you after? What can I teach you after? Learning. I'm actually one thing I realize is watching a lot of these weeaboo things. Most of them are like not Asian. Most of these people are not Asian. Like, can Asians technically be weeaboos? I'm curious. Is it limited to like white people and non-Asian people?
In my pants. Go.
No, Asians can't. Asians can't be weeaboos. I'm fairly sure Asians can be weeaboos too. Because it would be like, because technically it would be locked to Japanese people, right? Weeaboo. And then there's Koreaboo and like something like that, right? I would assume. Thank you, thank you.
Cut that out.
I cut six.
My boyfriend's back and you're gonna get in trouble.
It's not called being gay. It's called being fabulous.
Ew. Cringe. Sexy, sexy. I'm gatekeeping on who can be a weeaboo.
Hey, Brandon, this is weird. It's a normal guy. It's not that weird. Yeah, but you don't have pants on, so you like what you see. I do. Well, I had a really great time in the.
Oh my god, like, you know what? Let's stop this now. My brain, like, I'm having a brain meltdown. What is this horse shit? Seriously. Ugh. That commercial was very, I know.